And so I tell you, has it been a great month? I know it's been a great month for me. Leroy, how has your month of February been?
It has been just a phenomenal month this year, starting off January and February has been just excellent, you know, um, for me as well.
So you said it's been an excellent month. I can't hear you, Leroy. You said it's been an excellent month.
Yeah, you can hear me.
I tell you, it was a little low. It's all right. I just want the people to hear how you had a phenomenal month. And I tell you one thing, the one thing that set apart this month of February has been intentional activity. You know, when you're building a business, you have to have intentional activity for growth, for movement, for execution. And I tell you one thing I'm so excited about this month is that I'm ending this month stronger than I started this month. This month has been absolutely phenomenal. The connections that I've been able to make, the collaborations I've been able to make. And I hope you have the same testimony that this month has been phenomenal for you. So take it away again, Leroy. Tell the people what you think about the month of February and how it's been for you and your business.
I love that. You just dropped a word on somebody this morning, including me. You just dropped a word on somebody about being intentional in what we do for not only because everybody who has been a part of what I do and have heard me say, my goal, my assignment is to make you better by the end of the year than you are at the beginning of the year. And you do that by doing exactly what you're saying. The making one day better than the next day. That's all you do. Make the next day better than the day before. And when you do that, you can be the leader that you are. You can be who it is that you were destined to be. All those things. So just make each day, each month, and then by the end of the year, you look back over the 11 months, the 12 months, going into 2023, and you saying, wow, look at what has happened to me over these last 12 months. Just like you just said, Catherine, just look at where you've come from just in January, going in, finishing February, going into March. So that's the goal each month. Make each month better than it was before. And that's what you do. That's what you do. You wake up saying, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? That's
absolutely
some good morning to the leader in you.
So that's good morning to the leader in you, right? Good morning to the leader in you. Good morning to everyone watching now. Good morning to everyone that's going to watch later. We say good morning to possibilities. We say good morning to your purpose. We say good morning to your dreams. We say good morning to your desires. We say good morning to your goals. We say good morning to the leader in you. Listen, we air this show on Tuesday mornings to provoke you, to motivate you, to stimulate you, to encourage you to become your best self, to become your higher self, to waken those things that lie on the inside of you that's been dormant for a long time. So we can say good morning to that dormant place, because after this segment and after this show, it won't be dormant anymore. So we say good morning to those action steps on your list that still haven't gotten checked off yet. Yeah, we say good morning to that. We say good morning to that space in your mind that's saying, I don't know if I can do it. We say good morning to that. We say good morning to the doubt. We say good morning to the fear. And we're going to push all that doubt. We're going to push all that fear to the side. We say good morning to the leader in you. Well, we have a phenomenal guest with us on today out of the Florida area. She is a mover, she is a shaker, she is a queen. She also is the producer of her very own magazine. It's absolutely phenomenal. Leroy, if you could read some of the excerpts that I sent to you as we bring on our guest for this morning.
Sure. We want to introduce everyone, and for those that may already be familiar, just kind of reintroduce to you. Goddess Speaks. She is an energetic womb healer, relationship strategist, with smile and personality that lights up the room even after she's left. That's some power right there. You can light up a room even after you gone. That's that resonate. That's that resonation there that she leaves you with. Against all odds, she has prevailed through larger than life circumstances to become a powerful, fantastic woman you will know and love. Her past, I'm sorry, her, I'm sorry. Her past. Where did it go to? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That is
Her past is the past, and she walking into her present and her future.
Oh, there it is. There
it is. That is.
I'm like, I'm trying to find it. I'm like, wait a minute. But her passion for root digging and belief in healing has been an unwavering source of inspired leadership, a trait that she believes every woman needs to have. And I'm gonna add to that, every man needs to have too. Mm-hmm. But she, as you mentioned, Catherine, she's also the creator, editor of a powerful women's magazine that y'all can check out as well too. And I'll let you talk a little bit about that, Catherine.
Absolutely. Listen, I met Queen through a mutual friend, actually, that's in Maryland. Some of you know she's been on my platform several times, Miss Violicia Toll. She is the CEO of Fashionably Chic Tour. So she actually connected me with Queen Reetah, and we've been connected ever since. She actually spearheaded one of the When Queens Meet event in the Miami area some months ago, and it's one that's going to be coming up down the road in the springtime. So we're just so excited and elated. She has a phenomenal magazine, WYB. I want her to elaborate on the origins of that, how it got started, but also her womb healing, and maybe individuals out there that need some healing. And sometimes we got to tap into the root of where does the root of the pain stem from, right? So without further ado, Queen Reetah, just hit the unmute button. Just hit the unmute button.
Good morning.
Good morning, Queen. How are you?
I am great. I hope everyone is doing well.
Yes.
I am that speaks love, wisdom, and truth. And to start off, I definitely would love to just go, deep a little bit about why I began to do some root digging. Yeah. I feel like when most women get to a point when she's doing the wife thing, the mother thing, the let me try to step outside of the corporate world and do my own thing. Mm-hmm. I think those challenges right there are tough. But I like to talk about the things that we really go through. Like, as women, when you are in a marriage, women sometimes feel as though they can't be completely themselves without being judged by the man that they're with, or they will not get the support. What I like to do is talk to Black men and women about stop being jealous of each other's growth, because both of you do it. And sometimes you have to understand that the relationship isn't working because you don't want each other to grow. That's not a them problem. That started from home. Your mother did. Your father did that to you. They told you wasn't good enough. But what happened, you went into a relationship, and instead of addressing that with your parents, he was like, let me go ahead and take it out on this person. They didn't do that to you, baby. So what happens in a lot of quote unquote Black love relationships, you are not actually facing the things that you need to face to grow in the relationship, to know about wealth, to understand the value in each other. So I like to talk about the things that make you uncomfortable because you're not comfortable in your life. You know what I mean? So I realized in root digging, not only did I save myself from myself, but I became a better wife. I became a better mother because I finally introduced my family to me. We all go into marriage, motherhood, friendships, whatever it may be, work relationships. We go into these things with a role that our parents told us to play. And then when we realize that role isn't working for us, we're like, okay, this isn't going to work, but am I going to lose my man? Am I going to lose my kids? Am I going to lose friends? Am I going to lose this job because I want to be me? So I wake up every day choosing to be myself, because technically, if I don't show up as me, that means you don't really know who I am, meaning this love that you say you have for me, it's not real because I haven't introduced you to me. And when I finally do, will you love the me that I'm presenting to you that is me, or am I going to lose you because I decided to lose the other version of me that I wasn't happy with? I think when we all get to a point where we're so happy with ourselves, we'll begin to live in this world that is beyond anything. Because I'm telling you, I visit here. I don't live here. I'm on clouds a lot of times because the self-love that I have, it keeps me floating. The self-love that I have, it keeps me aware. It keeps my feet real light because I'm good. Whether or not all the things that I just mentioned, whether they're in my life or not, I am good. And that's something that everyone should have. You came here by yourself. You're going to leave by yourself, but you need to understand who you are while you're here. It's imperative because then you'll understand what type of friend am I going to be? What kind of wife am I going to be? Mother am I going to be? Friend I'm going to be? If I even want those things, am I still going to be happy with me if I only have me? So those are some of the things that I like to go over when it comes to the root digging, especially when it comes to women. Our wombs carry life. Yeah. So in that, we are literally the architect of it all. So until you understand that, you are not going to move the way you're supposed to. A man cannot take anything from you, okay? Nothing. Just like you can't take anything from him. I see and deal with wives all the time. My husband cheating on me and I don't know why. Baby, that don't have nothing to do with you. That man needs to heal because if it's not you, it's going to be somebody else. What you probably don't know is that his mother, she was showing certain things to him. He was witnessing certain things. Little boys watch you. That's all they do. Men watch you. That's all they do. They're watching because the moment you show them that you're anything like the woman that traumatized them, it's going to be war, baby. You understand? So it's important to understand you in order for you to understand them. And when it comes to the Black man, they take your word for everything, everything. Good, bad, and ugly, they take your word for everything. So what kind of world are you going to create? You know what I mean?
Yes. So this is good morning to the leader in you. For those that's just tuning in now, or you're sharing this link, we on every Tuesday morning, we showcase leaders. And right now, Queen Reetah is talking about her program. And I think this is pivotal as leaders, because sometimes if we're not showing our true self and we're showing our false self, even in our leadership capacity, that means we're not even operating at a level that we should be as a leader. That's why this show is called Good Morning to the Leader, and you to awaken those things that are in us. But you talked about some things, introducing yourself. You were talking about to your mate or whoever you're with, but also to your tribe, your circle, the people you do business with. But how do you get to that point if someone's watching now later and they're not even at that point? How do a person get to that point?
Well, you first have to understand that you can't be afraid of your truth. No matter how dark it is, no matter how it makes you feel, stop being afraid of your truth. And that's where a lot of people, they won't even jump because they're so afraid. If I jump, am I going to hurt myself? Well, first of all, you have to remove that thought of if I jump, I'm going to hurt myself. Just jump and know that there's enough fluff in you, baby, that you're just going to bounce right back. And that's the first thing that you have to do is stop being afraid of who you are, because the person that you're pretending to be, I'm telling you, that means you're not really married. You're not really in a friendship. You're not really them kids' mamas. You're not, because you're just introducing them to someone that you feel as though maybe they'll like this person. Well, introduce them to the real you and see if they'll like that person, because I guarantee you it feels 20 times better. But in order to get that, you have to remove the fear of actually thinking that you're worthy of that. Get rid of the fear.
Get rid of the fear. And Leroy, I'm about to bring you on so you can share your thought, but it was something that you said, and it made me think of our altered version of ourselves. A lot of times as leaders, you mentioned, if I show this version, maybe this is going to be more accepted. And a lot of times as leaders, we have to rid ourselves of that thinking so that way we can be effective leaders in our business, in our community, in our family, whatever you're a leader of, right? So a lot of times what I'm hearing from you, we're showing our altered version of ourselves, but not the authentic self. Leroy, did you want to pick up and add to that or share anything or ask any questions?
Well, I'll ask this question. Why do you think that so many of us, and we'll talk specifically about women since that's where the framework that you come from. Why do you think that women feel as if they have to wear the mask? Because I call it a mask. because when you're not being authentically you, you're portraying someone that you're not, as you were saying. But we women put on this facade so many times. And I want you, since you deal with them in this capacity, why do you think that they feel so many times that they have to be that instead of being who it is that they want to be? Because you talked about a wife sitting in that, well, I'm afraid that my husband isn't going to like me and everything like that. I'm curious to know about that.
Let's take it back to grandma and them, right? No disrespect to the elders, but the elder women did drop the ball a lot. Sorry, they did. They dropped the ball when it came to emotional, mental, spiritual health. They dropped it. Everything was about the strength of you and not really who you are. Everything was about the great pretender. It was the elders that taught women how to be the great pretenders, and their elders taught them the same. As long as I can pretend to be this way, nobody will ever know who I really am. Those same women are the ones that taught children how to know all their father's mistakes, but you never utter a word about mama's. So we have to go back to the responsibility. And with responsibility is accountability. And accountability is something that we are still fighting to get. By going to the root, we have to go to mother, and mother dropped the ball.
I love that. She just dove right into the deep end on it.
I wanted to add to something you had said earlier, the architect of your life. For those that's watching that are leaders, business owners, leaders in their family, when you mentioned the architect of your life, if you're a leader still trying to find your way in terms of how you're supposed to lead, how you're supposed to flow, what are some steps to give to people on how to start the process to becoming the architect of their life?
First, believing in your design, right? You first have to believe in what you're creating. And then once again, we're going to bring back fear. If you are afraid of doing it, it's already diminishing. If you're having doubt, you are already telling it, I'm not ready for you. So you have to take all the things that you battle with, and you have to heal from those things first in order for you to introduce yourself to this amazing business or this amazing relationship or this amazing move that you want to go to. Nothing is going to happen that's great when you don't even feel like you're great. It's not going to happen. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it, so it's not going to happen. If you think in your head it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Congratulations.
So the internal work has to be done. You said something, believe in your design. Believe in your design, just like when the architect is drafting up those blueprints, if you will, to the house or to the commercial, what have you. They're creating the vision before it's even manifested yet. And to every visionary watching now, you have to believe in the design before it's even manifested yet. Leroy, what are your thoughts on that part? Believing in the vision before it's manifested as a leader.
Well, absolutely, you have to, because as someone who is a leader, and I say it like this when we talk about vision, you have to see it first. You gotta see it, because if you don't see it, you don't know where you're going to. Second, you've got to write it, which means you got to put it down. You got to put it on paper, because once you see it and you visualize on paper, that gives you something tangible that I have to work towards. And then the third part of that, you just got to implement it. You have to be able to, then you got to put the work in. You got to put the work in being able to manifest it in order for that vision. What I say, bring your vision to reality. That last part is the part that I think a lot of people don't want to do. They don't want to do the work. They want the, hey, I can see it, I can write it down, but man, you mean I gotta work that hard to make it manifest? I gotta put that work in. Like, ain't it supposed to be, simple? I mean, and it made me think about the song that Kirk Franklin has with TD Jakes. I think it's called 911, but they're having a conversation. And he's like, but you TD Jakes, He said, but you don't know, you're on the front of Time magazine. He said, but you don't know what it took to get on the front of like T.D. Jackson said, spending the time in the church when he was in there frying the chicken and doing all of those things behind the scene to where he is now, where he has a congregation of 30,000 and everything like that. You don't know the work that he put in. You know, most of us are scared to do the work and don't want to do the work to manifest those visions. Visions aren't free. They're not free. They come at a cost.
Visions are not free. They come
They're not.
at a cost. It's so many people you just
That's why I could have said if somebody tried to take my vision, I'd be like, you know how much this costs, and still you better go play with.
Come on now. Yep.
Yeah. I think it's I like that point though that you brought out, Leroy, as far as even the analogy that you used with the 911 video, because I know the one you're talking about, the track. And I think a lot of times when we're building, we see the end result of what we desire, but it's that go between to get to it, right? Yeah. And sometimes we look at other visionaries, other leaders, other business, and oh wow, they have all this, but you don't know the behind the scenes story. And I think it's something that you said, Queen Reetah, as it relates to, you got to go within. You have to have that confidence within, because sometimes when you got a vision, ain't nobody else going to see it but you. And you can have some gatekeepers. Not you will have gatekeepers. You will have dream stealers that's going to want to say, I don't even understand how you think you're going to manifest that. So when those things happen, you have to have the wherewithal on the inside of you that say, I don't care if you don't see it. I know what I see. I got my roadmap. I got my papers already drawn up. I got my architect. And they already laid out the design, and I'm just about to run with it. Reetah, talk about running with your vision when no one else sees it.
Well, you got to lace up those shoes, all right? And make sure your shoes are comfortable. I'm so serious. If anything during this process, because it's going to be elimination happening, it's going to be a lot of reflecting happening. So you got to make sure that your shoes are comfortable and they fit, because this is about to be the run of your life. And listen, even when you turn around and there's nobody there, it's okay. Even if you look ahead and there's like 1 million people doing what you're doing, it's okay. Just know that make sure that you're comfortable during the process, because the process is where all the jewels are. And I can't express this like any more than I always do. The process is the most important part. That's where all the gems are. That's where all the cheat codes are. But you have to respect the process. And you also have to understand, if you do not respect the process, once again, nothing's going to happen. Because if I give you a little bit of water and you haven't drank in like a year, and the first thing you say, it took you long enough, I'm going to take my water back. Because I didn't have to give it to you. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't have to give it to you. So respect the process, because the process could get up and take all its gifts and go. But you got to respect the process.
Well, first, can we go back to the shoes fitting? Then we're gonna have to go about respecting the process. Leroy, what you want to talk about with the shoes fitting? Because that hit me right there. Make sure your shoes fit. Don't wear somebody else's size. Make sure it fits you for the journey, Leroy. It gotta fit you, Leroy.
And here's the thing about that, about having the comfortable shoes, because we have to understand that this journey that we're on, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, which means if for those that have run marathons before, and I ain't never run a marathon, but I know that there's a method to it. There's a method to running a marathon. You have to pace yourself. You got to understand what the route is, you know, where there might be a hill or there might be something else. And I think, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie, The Overcomer. Powerful, called Overcomer. But it's about this young lady. Yeah, it's about a young lady who has asthma, and she's the one person that goes out for the track and field team, the cross country track and field team. So the gist of the movie is about, she finds out that her father was not dead, he's alive, but he runs track, and she's running this course to in the championship for their high school. So her father become the gentleman that's her coach, he finds out about finding out that her father's alive and introduces them and everything like that. But in that last race that she runs, her father, who's blind, he knows the course, he's taught the course, but what he does is he takes her through that course. He coaches her through the course, when to speed up, when to slow down, when to move past certain runners and everything like that. And she was only able to do that because of what he taught her to be able to do. And when you have those comfortable shoes on to run the race that you're running, you're able to not have to stop. You're able to pace yourself to say, okay, I need to slow down in here, this place, so that I can take time to focus on what I need to focus on, or I need to learn a couple of things so that I can move forward, progress forward. If you're worrying about your feet hurting because you're in an uncomfortable space, then you'll be too focused on your feet and how uncomfortable you are to be able to be focused on the vision that you have and where it is that you're trying to go, and it'll distract you. You'll be distracted the whole time. It may distract you to the point where you may stop. It may distract you to the point where you just be like, you know what, I can't do no more. My feet hurt too much. So having those comfortable shoes on allow you to be able to move and be focused. Let's say concentrate. Be focused on the race that you have, the vision that you have, as opposed to, oh, my feet hurt, or this aspect of what I'm going through is hurting me. Because it might not, the shoes to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Queen, the shoes are just a sample. The shoes are those obstacles that make you, that may distract you, that keep you from, don't worry about the shoes. Don't worry about being uncomfortable. There are going to be spaces that you get that are uncomfortable, that make you uncomfortable. But you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's that part there.
Yeah, I think there's something interesting that you mentioned though about the movie, which I've never seen it, but I want to go watch it. You said the father was blind. Did I hear you correct? He was blind?
Yeah.
He was blind, but he was coaching her on how to run the race, even though he couldn't.
Yeah, because he was a track runner.
He used to be a track runner. He is a track runner.
Yeah, he used to be a track runner. Right. Yeah.
I think that's interesting though, even though he didn't have the physical sight, he still had the intuition to be able to coach his daughter. It's so many things we can extract from that piece as a leader, as a coach in our own businesses and our family and our community. Reetah, talk about that.
You know what I love about it? My perspective on, I used to be a track star, right? I no longer am able to see the quote unquote end of the tunnel. My vision is gone. But this is where parenting comes in. This is where the gift of parenting comes in. I lost my vision, but through me and the knowledge that I have learned, I can not be able to see the track, but it's here. It's here. Yep. And now I am going to teach the extension of me so they could run the rest of this race. That's what we're supposed to give each other, but it has to start with you, because technically he could have chosen to be in his blindness. He could have chosen to be like, technically I have an excuse. I'm blind. I can't see. Leave me alone. But he said, no, I know this track like the back of my hand, blind or not. Yeah. That's the best part of the process. That's the best part to me.
Yeah. Wow. Now, Reetah, tell everybody about WYB Magazine. Plug your magazine. How did you get started? Why did you get started? And how can individuals locate your magazine?
WYB Magazine, Work Your Business Lifestyle Magazine, is for entrepreneurs, business professionals all across the world. And it's really our therapy book in a sense, because you get to see other entrepreneurs, whether they are just starting off or they have been in business 20, 30 years. The process, once again, we're going to go back to that. while you're sitting here wondering why it's not going the way you want it to, or why you're losing friends, or why your family don't support, or why your spouse don't support, all these things are in here, and they're coming from people that's been there, done that, could write a book about it, and now they're sharing with you and letting you know, yes, I've been through all of this, but do you see me now? And I think as an entrepreneur, we all need that, because we get to a point where we're like, okay, seriously, I'm losing money. Why am I doing this? It's taking so much of my time. So when you find out that all of that, quote unquote, normal in our world, because it is normal. It is normal for you not to sleep. It is normal for you to be lonely. It is normal because remember, it's your vision. It's nobody else's vision. It's literally your purpose. It's nobody else's purpose. So in order for you to understand the process, sometimes some people do need that encouragement. And I feel as though in the magazine, you get to feel and also see, I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. Like I really thought that I was alone, but I'm not. And entrepreneurs, I feel as though we do make the world go around with our ideas, with our creativity, with our vision. And what WBY magazine gives you is the opportunity to not only respect what you do, but respect what your fellow entrepreneurs are doing as well. In order to order the magazine, you can visit www.wyblifestyle.com. It takes about 4 weeks for you to receive your magazine. It is amazing once again. It also serves as a coffee table book, but the main purpose of it is for you as an entrepreneur to feel as though, okay, I thought I was alone and I'm not. I thought that I was doing this wrong, but I'm not. And you also get to learn so many new business ideas, and you get to learn from different entrepreneurs that are guiding you, actually, like literally guiding you into starting your own business just by them sharing their experience. And I think that's amazing. And I also think that's something we all should be doing with each other and for each other anyway. If I know something, you know something, we collaborate, we work together, boom, we're all rich. Look at God.
Working together, teamwork. I know, Leroy, you're definitely a proponent and an advocate of collaboration.
Yeah, and I love what you said at the beginning about the vision. It's not, and you said it too, Catherine, it's not meant for others to see it. It's not meant for others to see.
We have a little bit of hesitation. It's going a little bit in and out, Leroy.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep, we good.
Okay. So what I was saying was something that you brought up about your vision. It's your vision. It's not for others to see it. If they don't see it, they don't see it. It's meant for you to see it. As long as you see it, as long as you're working towards it, that's who needs to see it and understand it to bring that manifestation, to it. And the others, then they will hopefully catch on or catch up to what it is that you see and move forward. But if you don't see it, there's nobody else. There's nobody else that's going to see it.
That's right.
Should they see
That's
it?
right.
So I think that was a great point that you all made about our visions and as leaders.
And for those that's in the DMV area and would like to be a part of our March shows, we have a full lineup in March. We do have also some opportunity where you can be a part of the live production to also integrate and promote your business. But again, if you are in the DMV area, connect with us, send us an email, ct@catherinetrotter.com. We would love to share some information with you about our breakfast pop-ups, along with when we produce our shows on Tuesdays. So send us an email. We can give you more information on that. But Reetah, talk a little bit about, you have something coming up in the spring. You're going to be doing an official launch with your magazine. It's going to be super exciting for those that's going to be in the Florida area. I'm actually going to be teaming up with Reetah for her launch. But talk about that. If the little bit that you can share, we'll share more later.
That I'm excited, and stay tuned.
It is going to be phenomenal. I'm telling you. It is going to be, this is what we can tell you. It will be in the springtime, right? It will be in the month of May. So again, if you're in the Florida area, stay tuned for the flyer when it drops. We will be dropping the location. And for those that would like to RSVP and be a part of that official launch, do so. Also, one of my other business clients in the Florida area, they're going to be featured on that magazine. Essential Companion Services is a husband and wife team. They will be a part of that magazine edition, along with being at the physical event. And it's something you don't want to miss. Reetah, why don't they want to miss that?
To me, once again, we're going back to the process, right? You begin something from a thought and then you watch it manifest. It's no different than birthing a child. So when you're coming here, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, or you're one of those people that's like, I think I can go into business for myself. Like, I think I can do this. I guarantee you this event is going to inspire you in some way. Because to me, networking, when you're around a lot of entrepreneurs, don't you ever realize when you go to a networking event, you always leave with something. You always leave with something, and it's always that something that you actually went there for. Whether it's like 1,000 people in there, if you said, I want a marketing, the best marketing broker in the game, right? You're going to go into that event, and for some reason, that's exactly who you run into. So when it comes to networking, it's always good to be around energies that make sense with what you're doing and where you're trying to go. I strongly believe in that saying, if you're around 10 broke people, you number 11. It's very true. So it's very important to surround yourself with where you want to go if you're not there yet.
Absolutely. Leroy, plug your business information, plug your book. If you want to share excerpt from your book, he has a phenomenal book, Queen. It deals with leadership. So Leroy, if you can just share excerpt or just something from your book this morning.
No, well, what it is the Art of Leadership, Success Strategies for the 21st Century Leader is the book. And what I did, just to sum it up, is I took leadership from 5 different perspectives, which are what I call the pillars of the community. I talk about leadership from the family perspective, education, government, business, and the church, and being a leader in any of those positions or all of those. But understanding and the premise behind it, there's so many of us that don't understand what leadership is. And I start with the definition of defining what leadership is, because I found that there were so many people that were one or two things. They were in a leadership position because they wanted the title, or they were in the leadership position not being properly trained to be a leader in those things. And I wanted to talk about that. And I wanted us to be able to understand who we are as leaders, and then what our responsibility is. And we talked a little bit about this for the next generation. You talked about parenting, about that passing that leadership on. And I've said this, Queen Reetah, I've said our parents and even our generation. I'm not sure. I know I'm a little older than y'all. So, but we've dropped the ball. We have dropped the ball for that next generation, and a lot of us are afraid to say it, but we've dropped the ball in equipping the next generation to be leaders, and we see it. It's happening, and if we don't do something about it, it will leave that next generation, just out here not knowing what they need to do. So that's what I talk about in the Art of Leadership. It's just about equipping us as leaders to be able to be the leaders that we are, but then equipping that next generation for leadership when they come.
And how can a person find your book?
Oh, sure. They can you can go to our website, www.jnfenterprises.com. They can find me on Facebook, social media, JNF Enterprises, as well as Instagram, What's Up Baltimore, magazine, and then also YouTube too. And connect with me any of those ways, or shoot me an email at jnfenterprisesllc.com, at gmail.com as well, in order to be able to, you can order the book or see the other books and things that I'm involved with to be able to get that as well, get them as well.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And before I forget, also for those that's in the DMV area, March 19th, I have a networking event coming up. It's going to be at the St. Regis Hotel, March 19th. For those that are also in the membership program, if you're not in the membership program and you want to learn about how you can get in the membership program so you can be CT at KatherineTrotter.com. March 19th is going to be a phenomenal networking event for those that are part of the membership of what we're doing. I want to give final words to Queen Reetah, any last minute plugs or how people can find you on social media.
The website again is www.wyblifestyle.com. And the one thing that I would want people to take away, regarding leadership, make sure you're ready for what that entails, because if you're not, it shows.
I think that's huge. If you're not ready, it does show. And I think sometimes, we in society, people will gravitate to a title. I want that title. I want that position. I want that look of whatever it may look like to them to be in a title role. But you got to own that responsibility. And sometimes it comes with a heavy weight and you have to bear the weight of it, because as a leader, a lot of times you got to make sure you're putting the other people first, and you got to make sure your people are good. It's not just title only to say we are a leader. We have to be in it in its totality. Leroy, any final words before we close out?
Yeah, sure. I've been saying this, and this is my theme for this week. I want you, the listeners, the viewers, to flip out. I want you to flip out this week. Absolutely lose your mind and flip out. And when I say flip out, I want you to do this. I want you to focus. I want you to learn. I want you to inspire. And then I want you to progress. Focus on what it is that you want to accomplish this week. That goes to what you were saying, Catherine, earlier about being better. Being better in February than you were in January. Going into March, because March is next week, believe it or not.
Going into March next Tuesday too.
going into March, being better than you were in February. Inspire someone. Who are you inspiring that's coming up behind you? Or who are you inspiring that's in your circle? In your circle of impact, who are you inspiring? And the last thing is progress, like we just talked about. How are you progressing? How are you making you better? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis to make yourself better? So flip out this week. Just absolutely lose your mind and flip out this week.
Well, that's how we shutting it down. We just gonna flip out and we gonna go get it done. We thank everybody for plugging in. For anybody that might need some strategic planning or organizational development assistance, send me an email, ct@KatherineTrotter.com, and my website is KatherineTrotter.com. So we going to end that note and see you at the top, and we just going to continue to flip out. Till next week, brand new show, brand new guest. Good morning to the leader in you. Let's go flip out. See you guys.
Stay home, Queen. Don't go anywhere, Queen.